I'm sorry, everyone. I've gone and made this series confusing. I should have given some preliminary context for those of you who are less familiar with Islam. Let's fix that right now. Muhammad lived in what we now call Saudi Arabia about 600 years after Jesus. For most of his life, he was just some guy. He had a hard childhood, but he made the best of it, got a reputation for being a decent and honest human being, married a woman that he loved very much, and spent a lot of time thinking about the supernatural. At around age 40, he met and was treated very roughly by a supernatural being that identified itself as the Archangel Gabriel, leaving Muhammad battered and unwell for some days, establishing his career as the final prophet of God. For the next 23 years, Muhammad would occasionally fall very ill or have fits or go into a trance, and on recovering he would improvise beautiful poetry, which he said was the very words of God. That is, God was using Muhammad to speak ultimate truth to humanity. In stark contrast to Jesus' stubborn refusal to give signs when asked, the very beauty of Quranic poetry is offered frequently by God and frequently accepted by humans as a sign of its authenticity. Spoken poetry was popular in Muhammad's culture. Many of his followers memorized his pronouncements, and many still do today. The Qur'an is this large body of spoken poetry, which was finally written down after Muhammad died. For Muslims, the Qur'an is God's words, spoken with 100% accuracy and fidelity by Muhammad. You fans of Dr. Dan McClellan have heard him say many times that the Christian Bible is not univocal. The Qur'an, on the other hand, is very much one single unified message from one mind, and Muslims take it that way. Now, there is a collection of sayings separate from the Qur'an, known as the Hadith, which are considered to be Muhammad's own personal commentary, valuable in its own way, but not from God. And there's a complication. Each saying comes with its own official pedigree established by Muslim scholars concerning who heard Muhammad say it, or who heard from someone else who heard from someone else who possibly heard Muhammad say it. As John Green told us, the 72 Virgins comment is in the Hadith, and it is widely considered to be inauthentic. Now, I said emphatically in the previous video that Muhammad promises you women, but that's confusing, so I'll clarify. God promises you women in the Qur'an, repeatedly and explicitly, right there at the beginning, John Green, totally separate from any hadith. Fortunately, for the sake of simplicity, if you want to know what kind of person Muhammad was, you don't need the hadith. You can get a good look at him just from reading the Qur'an. Again, I'm sorry I didn't provide background for the non-Muslims out there, and for the Muslims who, like Christians, don't know their own religion. I've glossed over a lot. Do feel free to ask questions in the comments. Thanks for watching.